Three, two, one. Hey, you guys. RT Bear here coming to you live from Hack Shack Studios. This is where the magic happens. Right here. Right in this chair, in front of this screen, this table. Wait. With this pencil. Look at this cheap-ass pencil I use. This has got it's got the best lead. It's like a soft I don't know, it's not even a 2H, it's softer than that, and it's glorious. It is glorious, and that's what I'm penciling volume 3 with. Randy knows. Randy Howell knows. Yeah, volume 3. Sins of the Father. We got some backers this week. I want to thank all you guys if you're listening for helping out. We're closing in on that next stretch goal, which is very, very cool. And yeah, every day you guys are working away on Black and White, getting it done, or get her done, as they say. And it's looking really good. There are times where I just get so discouraged. I'm like, this is taking forever, right? This is taking a long time. And then usually I hate everything I do, but not this book. Like I pull back, and then I'm like, yeah, it took a while, but this shot is really good, or this is inspired, or whatever. And yeah, so I hope you guys are okay with that. I haven't, like, I still have time on my deadline, but some of you guys on X are I think it's guilt by association. You guys are like, hey, what's up with Ethan Van Sciver's book? And I'm like, dude, I'm not his keeper. Like, I don't know, And so then I feel the need to let you guys know, where Black and White is and how hard I'm working on it, which is every day, and working my ass off. And we're about 38 pages into the book. So it's not the best shape, but it's also not the worst shape. So I think we still have about 5 or 6 months or something like that on the schedule. So it's still looking good. It's still looking doable. Well, we got Randy Howell in here. We got Late Kick One. He says hail, and then this guy, whoever he is, says hail back to him. Whatever that is, and whatever this ignition thing is, get tuned in. Not a clue. Anyway, I should introduce my co-hosts on the Pontificators, and this may be the longest running CG show of all time. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but we've been doing this for a while. We had a lot of old schools on this channel or on this show when we started. Let me get, since I'm going down memory lane, let me get this guy in. He's got a better memory than I do, and he was there from the get-go. And I forget if it was on this channel or some other channel where the magic started, where the origin started. But anyway, this is Todd Maroney, and this guy's kick-ass artist. He's brilliant. He's a big help on this show, and he's just an all-around good guy. He really is, sincerely, from the heart. Even though he's giving me crap before the show. Here we go. Todd Maroney, what's up?
What's going on, R? I'll give you a little reminder. You joined me and Chester for a show that we put together called Coffee Otaku or something like that. I think it was Coffee Otaku, which is like a way of saying like coffee at the comic book store kind of a thing, something like that. Otaku is a store that has graphic novels and manga and anime and probably.
I thought it was like a Mexican sandwich.
No,
a taco.
I may be mispronouncing it, but it is something like a taco or something.
I remembered it, and I hated it because I could never say the name either. Yeah, and that was on Chester's channel, or was that yours?
That was on Chester's channel.
It was Chester. Yeah, I still tune in every once in a while. Chester's still going strong, and that's Chester Busby III, and that is his legit name. And I miss him for various reasons, but one of the main reasons is, remember who his cousin is?
He's got a great voice for this.
He does.
Definitely has a commanding presence and a great voice.
Very knowledgeable. And oh my gosh, what is her name? The gorgeous, what's her name? The actress.
Jen something.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Bethany. No, not
Jennifer Love Hewitt. Jennifer. No. Maybe somebody in the chat can go back old school.
She was
Jennifer
in
Connelly.
Yeah, that's it.
Jennifer Connelly. Yeah. Gorgeous girl. Gorgeous. Just
but that could be the reason he's not here anymore, too, you know.
We used to heckle him. Yeah, we used to like talk about how gorgeous she was.
Somebody took it too far.
Somebody. I don't know who that was. Probably you.
Oh, I know who it was.
But you're too polite to say it?
No, because I don't think the person meant any like malice by it. I don't think the person, I think he just took it too far to the point where it got like maybe a family member or something noticed and call, you know what I mean? It just went too far. And I don't think anyone meant anything by it.
Was it this guy right here? Was it Clint Helinski?
No, it wasn't Clint. Clint wasn't big on it. He you know,
I love the name Chester. Was it Chester Busby?
Busby the third.
That is a fantastic name.
I thought, you know how everybody uses code names around here. I thought for sure it was a code name, and it's like,
it sounds like it'd be a made up name. It's a fantastic. You sound like you're like in a murder mystery in a 1940s black and white movie, and like you're the banker or something, you know, and it's like, no, it wasn't me, you know. You got the wrong guy, yeah, you know. No, that name is glorious.
Yeah,
I'm envious of his name. And the fact
Chester is a Mayflower, whatever they call those.
And the fact that he is related to a beautiful, talented, amazing actress, Jennifer Connelly. We can all like go to the lowest level and, you know, just focus on her beauty, but like she is a massively successful movie star, and he's related to her. So like that is like triple ultra cool. So good for him. Great name. Great family, apparently, and you know that's very cool.
Yeah,
the person who took it too far just was repetitive in doing it over time too. It was just
and some people just like everybody knows a guy who like takes a joke too far or doesn't know when to, you know. Like
that's right. We kicked him off the show anyway.
Yeah,
we're not bringing Bob back anyway.
Did we kick him off the show?
There's always people like that in life. And, yeah, there's always people like that in life, though. In any, you know, whether it's like streaming or like you've got a job or, you know, you've got people that you have to deal with in life. There's always people that don't really get it, that are just like going to be an asshole no matter what. And, you know.
Yeah, if we were kicking anyone off the show, the name would start with a C.
That would be Clint. We would never, ever do anything that wasn't
Jennifer Connelly is just drop dead gorgeous, man.
All right, you guys can see this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was thinking you guys didn't comment on it. I was like,
no, Jennifer Connelly is an absolutely beautiful woman.
Yeah, she is. Look at that. Yeah. So thank you, Chester, for introducing us to Jennifer Connelly.
So does he still do a YouTube channel of his own?
Yeah.
What's that?
Okay.
He doesn't
just talk
comics? He doesn't do what?
Does he talk about comics or what does he talk about?
No, he doesn't do comic news anymore.
Oh, okay.
Chester?
Yeah, he does like a gamer.
He's mostly a gamer, right? Like he like is it like a D&D and that type of stuff?
Right.
Like role player and stuff. Yeah, but how did that come up? I think we were just doing like beautiful women or something like that, and then somebody said Jennifer Connelly, and so then the picture of her came up, and then he was kind of steaming, he was fuming, and then we're like, what's wrong, Chester? Is like, that's my cousin or something like that. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then, of course, guys being guys.
Oh, yeah.
This guy with the C, what is his name? It starts with the C, Todd? He came in there and just started.
And then it became like a weekly thing. It just got really out of hand. I could be wrong though. Chester does not. He's not a grudge holder, so I could be wrong. But I have let him know to somehow let me know. Hey, when you're on hiatus or school break or whatever, because he has a school that teaches English. I said, let me know. We'd love to have you back. And,
I've done the same. Like I pop into his chat every once in a while and say we miss you. But the thing is, I think that was more so than the Jennifer Connelly, even though that's more sensationalist. Was that the timing, right? Because to come on this show, it was like 3:00 in the morning or something there, right?
Oh, is he in England?
No, he's in Japan.
Oh God! Oh, it's worse. It's worse. Yeah.
Yeah. So he would come on, and when we found that out, we were like amazed, like the dedication. To come on the show.
I think it's exactly 12 hours. So I think it was his morning.
Oh,
because he was always having coffee and stuff,
Oh yeah, if you're doing it 7:30 at night,
eggs in the background and that kind of thing.
Are you sure? Like
he
made it seem like he was getting up early or something for the show.
Well, I know. I've done a ton of shows with Peter Gilmore, and he's in England, and it would be the middle of the night to do like a nighttime show here for him, and it'd be like 2 a.m. And then I'm forgetting names, but yeah, like England and then Europe, it's like 2-3 in the morning to do like a 7-8 p.m. show here in the States. And then of course, we've got a better market for selling comics, so these guys are staying up till 2-3 a.m. to promote their books on these shows. So yeah, it's a little rough.
Yeah,
it's 9:32 in Japan right now.
9:32
a.m.
in the morning.
Yeah, right.
But it's probably like I'd say it's probably like 1:30, 2:30 a.m. in London, 2:30, 3:30 a.m.
We've never had
in
Peter
Europe.
on this show, so why we even care?
What's that?
Yeah, why was he being such a baby? He wasn't even getting up early.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Maybe it's better that he's not on the show anymore.
Who? Chester?
You just cut ties like that. No emotions. You mean nothing to me.
Are you talking about Clint again?
No, I've never said about Clint, not to his face.
I know the day that I will just be kicked to the curb, laying in the gutter, and Art will be walking down the alleyway like Peter Parker, and he'll just throw his Clint Holinsky t-shirt in the garbage and walk down the alleyway, and it'll be raining, and I'll just be laying there in the mud. And it'd be Spider-Man no more, and it's like Clint no more.
Clint no more, yeah. Never happened. The thing is, like, because
don't challenge me, Art. I can be a real ass.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you would be well into it, man. You'd be like putting those Jennifer Connelly images up, and you'd be like way into it.
I'd be talking about how very pretty she is.
Yeah, in a respectful way.
And magnificent breasts.
In a respectful way. Exactly. Right, Todd?
I like to keep it classy.
Him? No.
She has a healthy bosom.
So Clint would not be respectful.
No, I'm not talking about Clint, by the way. Although I'm picking on Clint, I'm not.
Yeah, there must have been another guy with his name.
There was a guy who seemed to have the controls in his hands times, and he would, and I know it's supposed to come from you, right? You're supposed to allow. I don't know if you gave him also controls or how this works, because I've never been the host, but he was a guy who was always putting up stuff.
Thanks, Randy.
But if it was you pressing the button for the go button, then it's on you too.
Randy. You can always count on Randy for just like the perfect little segue. Segue
Oh,
advertisement.
Yeah, Randy kicked ass last week, man. We were trying to get a backer and trying to get an add-on for him and everything, and it went on forever. And we finally got it all worked out, and it's all because of Randy. So Randy's a badass, mofo, as they say. So really, the only thing going on in my life right now is just work and the kitchen remod. But that's all. The kitchen is boring stuff.
What are you doing? No, it's not boring stuff. What are you doing? What are you doing for your tabletops? What are you doing? Like, what did the wife pick out for your countertop?
What is it? It's called quartz countertop.
Okay.
Yeah. And I wanted a solid piece because the seams always look funky. But this guy's like, I can't do bigger than 10 feet long, and so it's like 13 feet that we need. So he assures me it's going to have a seam, but it's going to look gorgeous. This is like, if you guys have had anybody do work for you, they always say the same thing. They always go, it'll work, it'll look gorgeous. Like, that's what they always say. Whenever you have any problem with anything, they're always like, it'll look great.
You'll never know. It'll look gorgeous. Yeah. No.
Right.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I saw the cabinets. I saw you got the cabinets in.
Cabinets are in, and today we got the flooring, and so we're doing, I think it's called slab floor. So it's not like a bunch of little tiles. These are big old freaking slabs of flooring, and it's a little tricky to lay because I guess when you get the small ones, you can adjust as you're going because they're smaller pieces. These are huge pieces, so if you don't get it in right, so it might be up or down, so then you can do a lot of that. I guess it's a little easier and it's more noticeable. And so, okay, here's an interesting, this is going to be a fun story, right? This morning, okay, they're getting the tile in, and there's certain things that I'm nitpicky about. Okay, so we got to have a transition between the tile and the wood floor, and then there's the stairs, which has got a step in it, right? So I want the step. I don't want, they call it toe molding. I don't want any of the cheats. I want that tile to go right up to that step, right? Pristine straight line, and then straight line between the tile and the wood floor, right? Not much to ask for. I pulled all the baseboards out so they could cheat. And if you know what I'm talking about, they'll just bring the tile up to the wall, and then the molding will go right over the floor. So whatever it is, they don't have to cut a straight line, whatever. So I did all that. It doesn't
have to be perfect. It'll all be covered by the molding. Yeah.
Only those two places. That's all I care about, right? So I told them that before they started. And so they're putting it in. And so then everything's good, except there's like this, I mean, it's like maybe 1/8 of an inch. And it's the cut isn't straight. The cut kind of goes off a little bit. And so it's right there in front of the stairs. And so then I tell the guy, I go, this is crooked. This needs to be straight. And he's like, it's fine. He tells me it's fine. And I go, it's not fine. And then the other guy stands up. He stands up like he's trying to intimidate me. He stands up, comes over, and he goes, we're going to put grouting in there. And I'm like, it butts against the stair. There's no room for grout. And he's go, well, we'll put some grout in. You'll never know. And I go, no. That needs to be pulled up. And so then it's like, whatever. And so I said my piece, right? So I walk off. I'm not going to be confrontated with this guy or whatever. And so I get a call from the tile company that we ordered the tile from. And he goes, have you been talking to some of the workers? Yeah, I mentioned. And he goes, well, what was that all about? Like, he wants to hear it from me. And I go, I don't know what you're talking about. And then, because he's trying to be coy, there seemed to be like some kind of issue, some problem that you were having. And I'm like, I didn't have any problem. And he goes, and then I go, what are you talking about? So finally he comes clean after. I hate people that play games like that. And so then he's like, well, I heard that you had a problem with some of the tile against the stairs. And I said, yeah, I told him, and that was it. And then it was like, well, they didn't like it. I go, okay, what do you want me to do about it?
Yeah. They're trying to intimidate you because it's money out of their pocket because they fucked it up.
Right. So they'd have to pull it up and they'd lose that piece of tile and whatever, right? So, and keep in mind, these are slab tiles. But my thing is, like with comic books, how do we get paid, Clint? We don't fuck up, and you put your head down and you get shit done, right? You just muscle, no matter what, you muscle through, you get it done, right? And so that's how you get these things done. So if there's a correction, whatever needs to be made, you do it. You don't complain about it. You just get it done. And so then this guy, he called his boss, the contractor's boss, and then the contractor called the tile company that we ordered. So I'm not hearing it from this guy's boss. I'm hearing it from the guy that runs the tile, place. And so then I'm finally like, well, it was horrible, and I just asked him if he could replace the tile with something straight. And then he goes, okay. He goes, that's completely within your right to do that. And I'm like, yeah, no shit. I'm paying these guys. Like, you have to. I hate when people tell you, they give you permission, they give you like some. Well, it's your right.
You got to be hard nosed with contractors because they'll try to get away with murder.
I know, and then I was just like, okay, okay. So then what's the problem? He goes, well, it doesn't sound like there is a problem. And I said, there's no problem on I was very polite. I was respectful to him when I asked for this thing. I didn't call him names or say this looks horrible or any of that stuff. I just said, this is a problem, and can you put a new tile down? And so he goes, okay. I just I got a call from their boss, and he told me this thing. And so I'm just thinking to myself, like, this guy's such a prima donna, right? That I had the nerve to criticize his beautiful tile work. And so this guy was so affronted. He was so upset that he had to call his boss.
He knew he fucked up, and he was hoping you weren't going to call him on it.
Right, but think about that. Okay, think about what you said. Okay, all of us would know better than to do what he did, because just what you said, okay, you go to your boss and you tell him that this guy had a problem with what? That you fucked up. Why would you do that? You narked yourself out, right?
Yeah.
You squilled yourself out. So that's sin number one. The other one is, what are you, some kind of like just pansy? Like you can't take any kind of criticism. And then you're such an asshole that you ratted me out to your boss. Like you were like, oh, this guy, oh my gosh, he asked me to do this thing. Like, okay, so he did that. And then the guy that he ratted out was the guy that was paying him.
There's a lot of stupidity going on there.
I don't understand. Sometimes it's like I don't understand people. I'm just and then I always have this one chambered when I'm talking to people, professional people, and they give me shit, like even in comics, whatever. And I go, okay, well, let me ask you a question. Are you okay with this? You know what I mean? Like whatever the screw up is, are you okay with it? And then if they say, oh yeah, and I say, what if this was your house? Would you still be okay with it? And then they're like, oh, and then they start coming around. And then I'm like, and then if that doesn't work, I say, listen, I thought you were a professional.
Yeah.
Guys hate that one, man. They hate that one.
Oh yeah.
I thought you were a professional. Yeah, I thought you could cut a straight line with a piece of tile. What did I know,
No, that's what you got to do with them. Otherwise, they'll cover up any little thing, and they'll hope you don't notice. So yeah, you got to hold them to the woodshed on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's just so weird that you have to fight for just like, don't you want the job to look good? Like, where's your
they want to get in and out and get your money and get in and out as fast as they can. That's business.
Well, it's like I said, like how we work at Clint is like you become that guy that doesn't mess it up.
No, you gotta bend over backwards.
Yeah, then you have to redo it and you lose time. So especially when you're inking, you just don't mess up. I remember there was this guy in the studio and he was asking me, he's like, what happens if you screw something up with the ink? I go, you don't. And he goes, well, what if I do? And then I say, you don't.
Mhm.
And then I said, worst case scenario, you use whiteout, but you should never think that way.
No.
Like always think that you're going to nail it, because then you're giving yourself permission to screw it up,
You're giving me stress anxiety of 20 years of inking my stuff.
But that's it.
I hated.
Really?
I hated making any kind of mistake.
Yeah.
I hated having to use whiteout. I hated to, and then once we got to the point where like I was scanning stuff, and then I could go in digitally in Photoshop, that took a little bit off of the. But like, man, I remember inking in the early days, and it'd be like, there's no mistakes, there's no messing up, there's like just inking it right the first time every time.
Yeah. I agree. That samurai, the boss should have told him thin skin. That's how I felt. Like these guys were like bitches, narking me out. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. In my own house, like these guys.
That's the other thing.
Yeah, and then Doghouse Review says they estimate those tiles down to the penny. How much was each tile? I have no idea how much it broke down per tile. But we got a pretty good deal. I mean, we shopped around quite a bit. So we didn't have to use as many tiles because they're freaking ginormous. They're probably like 3x3s. Yeah, they're like
awesome. That's gonna look gorgeous.
Yeah. But yeah, like with the whiteout and stuff, I remember, like Scott Williams and I, because we were both like, either one of us was thinking Jim Lee or one of us was thinking Scott or Wills Portaccio in the day on either Uncanny or X-Men. And so I think Scott was looking at my page, or I was looking at Scott's page. It's all a blur, man. When we were doing this, we were just jamming on this stuff, both of us, to get things done. And so it was like, I think it was me. I was looking at Scott's work and I was like, there's no whiteout on this except for special effects, but there were no cleanups or any of that kind of stuff. And then he's like, well, what do you do? I go, there's probably whiteout all over my pages. So then after that, I kind of got shamed. So then there was that whiteout pin. It went in the garbage, man. I was like, because we'd always see each other's original pages. So then you could tell if there was whiteout or not. And so the thing for a while just became, zero whiteout. Like you just don't make
everything comes down to a competition at a certain point.
Yeah, friendly competition.
So you bring up an idea I have.
Okay.
If you want to beat Rob Liefeld to the punch, if you want to get out ahead of him, because I have a feeling this is his next move.
Oh,
this
boy.
is the pencil I drew Deadpool with and put it up for auction. This is the nib I used to ink Deadpool. He's going to put it up for auction. This is the eraser where I erased the bad lines. He's about to do that. You watch. So
I've already done it. I've already done it.
If you can get money for it, I'm sure he'd do it.
Yeah, I was just on live stream and I was inking something, and then I said, this nib's about worn out. I go, anybody want it? And so then I did like a bid for it. I think it had like $20 or $30 for the nib with the holder, though. It was with the holder.
Yeah,
that was worth it.
Yeah.
So you mean like vintage stuff? Like Rob somehow still has the pencil, like stuff?
No, he doesn't have any of that stuff.
So what would he be auctioning, Todd? Just something he used yesterday, like new stuff?
Well, whatever, like Deadpool sold over $1 million or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
he's been talking about it all week.
What? Wait! You gotta say it again. So he's been talking about selling it for what?
Huh?
How much was he talking about selling it for?
No, I'm saying he's about to.
Okay.
Listening to him,
that'll be the next thing he tries to monetize.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's about to monetize everything he used to draw, whatever sold really well. You know what I mean?
All right, I got something for you guys and everybody in the chat. All right, this is a major decision here. Okay, are you guys ready for this? All right. Yeah. I heard Jay Leno. He was on Adam Carolla, and Jay Leno has a car collection bar none, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
just massive, right? And all kinds of like weird oddity cars and like high-end Ferraris and stuff like that, and everything in between, right? And so they were talking, and also like Jay and his wife, they never had kids. So there's no really heir apparent. And so Jay was talking about like a lot of the cars that he bought were from people's collection, right? So like say the husband dies and the woman gets the wife gets the collection, right? Well, she has no interest in these cars.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely none. And then one of the stories he told, which I thought was very endearing, he was like, this woman came up to him, and I guess she thought like it would be good for Jay to have like her husband's Ferrari, right? And she goes up to him and she goes, "Would you be interested in buying this car?" And he goes, "Yeah, what are you asking?" She goes, "My husband for years always said he wouldn't take anything less than 800,037 or some like very specific number." And he goes, "Well, I'm very interested." And then she goes, "Okay." And then he said, "Hold on, let me make a call." So he called this guy that he knew, and he told this guy the car that he had. And so then the guy's like, "At that price?" And he goes, "Yeah." And so then he said, Jay brokered the deal and got this woman almost $4 million.
Oh, it was worth more.
It was worth way more. But obviously, like he had drilled it into her head all those years. Like, you know how when you have something like a comic book or something, you're
don't
like,
take less than this.
Yeah, this is worth this, whatever. And you kind of drill in your kids' heads or whatever. And so then they kept talking. And then Jay was, I think, Adam asked him about his collection. Like, who would get your collection when you die?
Yeah.
You know, whatever. And so then he goes, "Well, nobody. I have no family that's interested in any of this stuff." And so then I started thinking, holy shit. You know, I hope you guys, your parents are still alive, but, you know, I kind of had to go through my parents' stuff.
Everybody has to go through it at a certain point.
Yeah. And then you're like, this was a passion of my dad's. Like my dad was a coin collector. And so I guess maybe all this
You're
stuff.
lucky.
Oh, yeah, I'm lucky because there was this whole safe that we brought from California here. I haven't opened it since I got it from the house. I've never opened it. There's a whole safe. It's a smaller safe. It's got silver coins in it.
Yeah.
Silver coins. The whole thing's filled up with silver coins. And then
That's awesome.
He collected $2 bills, and he's got, I think, 5 to 8 of these things in sequence, and they're non-circulated.
Oh, wow.
Non-circulated. So I have no idea what I'm, you know.
Oh, yeah, you're
on here. But you know, it's like, ooh, you know, like problems to have, right? So then, but I started thinking about it seriously, and this is the question for everybody in the chat and you two guys, because I think we all have pretty good collections of comics and stuff, right? So I was thinking, my daughter's an artist, you know, she loves art, she loves all these things, but I don't think she really likes the stuff I like.
No.
You know what I mean? So I not only have all the books that I worked on, but I also have my personal collection since I was a kid, right? And so then I started thinking, like, it's not going to mean anything to her.
It's going to be a hassle for her to deal with.
Right.
It's like if you can figure out a way to divest of it. So, because literally, like I went through this for the last.
Keep talking. I'm gonna get some water.
3 years, and actually, I got a question for you, Todd. But yeah, like you reach a certain age and you start having to deal with your parents, your in-laws, and there's a house full of stuff. And I think everybody collects something to some extent. Like everybody's got stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So whether it's real collectors where you're collecting comics, but like figurines, Christmas ornaments, like it can be anything, like car guys, tools in the garage, like having just rows and rows of tools because you're a car guy, or glass figurines, like most people collect something, and then as you get older, you just get more and more of it because it's just your hobby and it's what you've done, you know.
Yeah.
And then when you pass, your kids are like, what the hell am I going to do with all this stuff? And it is not an easy undertaking. So if you can put preemptive thought into, especially with comic book collections, and like if you want them to go somewhere where they'll be appreciated, it's not a bad thought to think about that ahead of time, because you got boxes and boxes of long boxes and artwork and collectibles and posters and figurines and all this collectibles. Like you'd probably want, because you cared about it in your life, you kind of wanted to go someplace where it might be appreciated in your afterlife. So
and I don't want my daughter. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want my daughter to feel obligated, you know, because you get that stuff, and then you're like, I know it meant something to my dad or my mom or whoever, but it doesn't really mean anything to me. And maybe, you know, like for her, like I just have a small apartment. Like, what would I do where would I put all this stuff? You know, things like that. Just the practical aspects of the stuff. Exactly. And so then, you know, I just started thinking, like, you know what I might not do a crowdfund, but I did something like this before when we moved here. I like Marvel and DC, they would send you comps. And in the old days, they would sometimes they'd send you, I don't know, 15 of one book or 20 of one book, right? So you'd have a stack of whatever it is. Well, I've been doing this for 40 years.
I can't imagine the comics you got piled up, Art.
And I'm in, like, I think the top 10 most prolific inkers of all time. Yeah. So not only do I have that, but I usually did 2 to 3 books a month, you know, in that amount of time. So that's a lot of stuff. And so I have a whole room dedicated to it. And so what I did, I was just kind of having one of these moments like right now. And I just said, I'll do these packaged things. I'll do like 5 books for like $30 or something like that. So, and then I'd say it would be random issues, you know, and so sometimes there'd be a trade paperback in there, you know. What's that?
Oh, I'm just saying, hey, the people showing up in the chat.
Oh, okay, yeah, we're getting quite a bit of people. If you guys could give a thumbs up, I'm gonna go back just in time a little bit for doghouse reviews. 3-foot tiles are expensive, usually about 35 and up. So pull out one tile and put it in a new tile would be losing $70 of my own money, though. Really, right? No. The margins are tight, and construction $100 could make or break a job. Well, then just do it right the first time, and then I want to ask you to change it. But anyway,
question.
Oh, go ahead.
Did Jim Lee do a cover, like a Batman Wolverine cover, for this new crossover thing?
Yes. I think I've seen a Batman Wolverine image, and if that's the cover, it's not one of his stronger pieces.
That's why I wanted to pull it up, because I've heard it's bad, and I wanted to give it a look.
It looks kind of like a commission more than we'll find it. We'll talk about it. But anyway, just to continue, just to finish my thought, is I think I was selling them for $30. You get 5 books, and I sold a ton of them just on live streams. I'd go, you know, just let me know if you want these things. PayPal me $30, and I'll put these things together for you. And so all those multiple books that I had, I was kind of moving them, you know, and I was only keeping 2 books per title. You know what I mean? So if I had 15 of each, I was just keeping 2 of them. And so now I'm thinking of doing something like that again, just getting rid of all of those books.
You know what I mean? You should think about this. Is there something you want? Say maybe like, hey, I'm in the, you know, this stage of my life. I'd love to own a whatever. I don't know what it is. Maybe a special car or whatever. Think about the price of that thing, because it's really hard to get what you hope for. But if you go, in my mind, I want to be able to buy this, you know, Bugatti or whatever, okay, and then try to make that be the goal. Like, I'm going to sell all these comics to buy me my whatever, you know. whether it's a Mercedes or a Bentley or whatever. And then when you have that, you'll feel good, because selling your comics is not a good feeling.
Yeah, because my daughter, then if she got a Bugatti out of this thing, she'd go, yeah.
Right. If you get what you want out of it,
with you. But the thing is she's not going to know how to maximize the sales.
I hear you, Todd.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry, Todd.
Go ahead,
She's not. Oh, sorry, Todd.
Go ahead. Clint froze.
No, I kept
that was weird.
Talking over Todd. I was trying to.
Oh no! He got my thought. He knows. Okay. He knew where I was going. I was good.
And my whole point is like, Art, you would know how to maximize the sales out of this, and she's not gonna know. She's gonna put it up on Facebook Marketplace or someplace where and it's gonna go for bottom dollar, and they're gonna get like a bunch of steals, and like you've got a bunch of like really collectible stuff, especially coming from you, especially if it's signed or like limited, so like you're better off. And then plus it opens up, you can open up a room in your house and put something else in there or whatever.
It just like at this point it starts to feel a little strange, like at this age, this time in my life, to have all these things and then to think like, well, who would get them, and would they think they were great? Would they think they were cool? And nothing against my daughter, but I just don't think she would. But having said that, when I cracked open those safes with my dad's collection in there, I did get a kick out of it.
Oh, well, that's why I said he collect coins. That's awesome, because most people collect crap that's not worth anything. And guess what holds its value? Coins, money, $2 bills hold its value. But like, old silver coins, old silver dollars, like that shit holds its value. And like, I wish I've got some collectibles in my basement, and I wish they were older silver coins. That would be a good thing. For the life of me, Todd, I cannot find this Jim Lee DC Marvel crossover cover. I've heard there's like a Batman Wolverine cover that he did, but I cannot find the damn thing. When I Googled it, oh, look at that.
These are not. Wait, are these? Now these ones are circulated, but they're still in really good shape.
Geez, he was not effing around, man. He's just got sheets of that stuff.
Oh yeah, there's a whole stack of them.
And they're all laminated like that?
Yeah. This one, the last two look like haven't been in circulation. This top one has a little bit of a crease in it, but look at the corners and everything.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but there was one, like the serial numbers were all sequential.
Oh wow.
It was crazy. This one, I think these have been circulated, but they're in really good shape.
Oh yeah, like they look pristine. This is your dad who collected all this stuff?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
These are the sequence: 83, 84, 85, 86, and these are uncirculated. These are all sequential bills.
That's awesome.
Isn't it crazy?
It's so cool.
Yeah, and then there's all these.
Oh crap!
That's some money. Yeah. And I think these are all.
This is when you go. This is when you go to Vegas and you talk to Rick from Pawn Stars.
Yes.
And I think the old man is passed now, but like anytime anybody would show, oh look at that!
Oh, silver note. Oh, nice.
What year is that?
I'll look. But
boy, they changed the design. That's got to be early.
This is a silver. This is a silver dollar. So you could exchange this for silver. So this is a real like silver certificate. This is real money. This is not.
It's called silver note.
It's a silver note. against
Silver
the silver
note.
dollar. Yeah.
1923.
Oh, so yeah, 1920s, early 1920s. Yeah, you go to this with Pawn Stars and go talk to Rick. If the old man was there and you had all those silver coins, the old man would come out, look at all of that silver.
And then this one, I don't know if this is real. I don't know why you would have it, but I don't even really know what this thing is.
Ooh.
Is it a $10 bill?
Oh, it's a Confederate state bill, so it's
That's called a Confederate note.
yeah, it's
Okay.
a Confederate note, so that's worth something too. Just that's worth something more for the historical value than any actual monetary value.
Yeah, it's in
Like if that's
it's in really good shape though. I mean, look, it's browned obviously, but the
Yeah.
corners are pretty pristine.
but yeah, I'm sure that just historical value wise, that's worth something. Wow,
Just
So
stacks of stuff. Yeah.
that's cool, man. That's super cool.
I dropped half of them.
Don't roll over them with the desk chair.
I know, that's why I'm moving them out of the way right now.
This
Just
$2
guys.
bill was pristine until I ran over it with the desk chair.
I ruined the collection. But yeah.
So what's the year on the Confederate? Hey, what's the year on the Confederate
Oh
note?
yeah, what's the year on the Confederate?
Here.
18 something, right? Like 1860, 61, 62.
Yeah, if that's authentic, well, then you get an authenticator if you brought it someplace to an auction.
Yeah, you're right. Confederation of the United States.
That's probably worth the most of all of that stuff if it's authentic.
Pundit in 8% stock or bonds. I can't. The back's got something on it, so I can't see if there's there's a stack of these though. It's like multiples.
And that's where you probably need an authenticator.
Yeah. Usually they have a date on the front, but I can't find one.
There's also places like if they came from Montgomery, they're worth more. If they came from Richmond, they're worth less. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna take this out of this holder.
Don't do that, Art. Leave it in the plastic holder. Oh, Jesus.
Oh my gosh, it feels brittle. Okay, the back. If this this is a different one. This isn't. This says 1862.
Wow.
I was trying to get it.
And this one, this was $20.
Oh,
one for you and all your.
So hey, some of the 1862s from well, they have some error ones in 1862.
You mean like misprinted?
Yeah, like a diffused stream from the engine. Is there like a train on it?
Let me see. There's a beehive, which is strange. And there's a bunch of cherub kids.
cherub jizz?
Yeah, there's a lot of cherub kids.
Doesn't seem right.
Oh
But
shit!
but
Look at
some of these are
I don't have ours fancy laminated like ours though.
Is
some of
it
these
circulated? Why are
above
you talking?
30 grand.
Mine
30 grand?
Mine are circulated.
Yes.
I don't,
Oh, I just folded it.
don't do that, Art. Keep it in mint condition.
Put
I
that
can't
lighter
believe it
away,
didn't
will
fall
you?
apart in my hand. I have
Mint.
comic books.
Mint in the box, Art. Mint in the box.
In the
is what we need to
box.
focus on.
Always keep it in the box.
Mint in the box.
That's cool, man.
I've got a couple of $2 bills.
I think
Mine aren't laminated.
I think there's something about like $2 bills that are
Oh, they're fun.
worth a lot. Like if they're like, I don't know. My dad has like they have initials like it's got a DM on it or
certain ones are more rare. I'm sure.
certain marks on them. Yeah, and I guess coins have those too. And my dad,
I think the silver dollar coins before JFK, like before 64, like silver dollar coins before 64 are worth way more than silver dollar coins after that fact. And I think they also had more silver in them percentage wise.
yeah, that's some of my dad's notes were, that they weren't pure silver.
Yeah.
Like it was like 3/4 of silver and something else, you know.
I've got a bunch of 70s silver dollars, and I looked it up at one point, and it was like silver dollars from the 70s are okay, but silver dollars pre 1964, pre the JFK thing, like all those silver dollars before that are worth way, way more for collectors. So
Alexander says it's worth $200.
the Confederate note.
I think that's what he's referencing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, man, that's just like we got safes of this stuff. That's only the one that I opened up. So it was weird because and like I said, there's a stack of silver dollar, like silver dollars, like I guess is it Eisenhower? Is that what the silver dollars were? Eisenhower silver dollars. And then there's even like nickels and dimes and quarters and stuff that are made out of silver. And you can tell the difference.
$50.
Was it $50? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can when it's silver, you can tell versus like currency today. Like the silver is just it's a different. It's actually not quite as shiny. It's a little bit dull.
Yeah, it's a little bit more worn down. It's a little bit more malleable.
And it has way more weight than the coin of alloy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one thrown at my head.
Don't you want to buy like a big RV and be able to go back and see your daughter? And, you know, why don't you sell a lot of this stuff and get yourself something that you really always wanted?
Like an RV?
Like an RV, yeah.
Is that your dream, Todd, to have an RV?
No.
I would do an RV. I've looked at RVs. We went to like an RV. Have you guys ever went to like one of those like RV places when they have like the openings in the spring? You can go walk through all the RVs. They're kind of fun. I kind of like, I'm not like this diehard like, oh, I need to get an RV, but I kind of see the draw of it. Like you got your whole little house, and then you drive it to wherever you want to. And I see the draw of it. I probably wouldn't go for a giant one. They've got the little like cargo van kind of ones where.
What were those ones in the day, like in the 70s? They were like Chinooks or something like that. They were basically like a van front, and I guess a van chassis.
And the van chassis with the box over the top. Yeah.
Right, and then there was the sleeper thing that went over the cab. Yeah.
I just came up with a whole new business. Great idea. Listen to this.
Right now.
Listen to this. You buy 10 RVs and put them in like primo vacation spots. And you call it Air R&V.
R&V.
Right?
I like it, Todd. I like it.
And they're booked by week.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it.
You make them so they can't be driven away, obviously.
Yeah.
And then you have some kind of like, you have like custom ones that have the Boris Vallejo painting on the side or Frank Frazetta.
They're not all vans.
No, but you do it anyway, just like for nostalgia. And then you have shag carpeting and like lava lamps in one of them.
Depending on where you live, like northern Minnesota, the Grand
Canyon.
Like northern Minnesota, there's RV places
52 weeks a year. That's big bucks.
In the summer, in the summer, every RV park up here, you can't get into them. They're
really?
Oh no! Like I've got like northern Minnesota in the summer. It's beautiful. It's outdoorsy. You go hiking, you go trails, whatever. I've got probably 3 or 4 RV parks that have 20, 30 RV spots around just within 5 miles of my house.
Wow. Okay.
You can't get into them in the summertime up here. So Like there's people RVing like crazy. They'll spend the whole summer up there. That's their cabin. That's their getaway. That's their summer vacation. And I mean, it's very popular and people enjoy it. So
There was this guy when I lived in California, him and his wife, and they were like semi-retired, and they had one of those big old RV things, and he had the special parking spot on the side of the house for it, and I think it was like $100K or $150,000 for this thing, and I'm like, that's you could buy a house. Like at the time, you could buy a house for that. You
dude,
know,
walk into one of them. They're a house. They're like you can get an RV that's $100,000 and it's nicer than a lot of people's $200,000 or $300,000 houses. They're crazy.
I just modified my idea a little bit.
okay.
So, like, you know how usually it's a trip across country? Well,
Right.
you're skipping the cross country part and you're just flying with your baggage to the RV, go up and down California or go to the Colorado and the Grand Canyon. So you get to do the RV thing, but you don't have to do all the travel. It's just
so the RV would be waiting at the airport.
Just the fun part. Not all the hassle, just the fun part. Yeah.
They shut down. The RV would be there waiting for them. They would already have the keys. They go walk up, start it up, and vacation starts as soon as they enter the RV.
I don't
think of the Griswold's trip. How much trouble you would have saved them?
Yeah,
they could have just flown right into World and
those guys were trouble in the making. Like somehow it would have been funnier if they did have an RV.
But no, I don't think that's a terrible idea, Todd. Because I mean,
no, it's not.
Just show up, hop in your RV, drive from wherever you're at, land down to the Grand Canyon or Grand Yellowstone or whatever. Wrap back around. You don't have to deal with any of the hassle of it. You pick it up. It's like a rental car, but it's a rental RV. And you get the full fun trip of it without having to deal with all the extra headaches.
Have you seen these guys that got the RV and then they're towing their car?
Oh, yeah.
Because they'll go somewhere, they'll park the RV, and then they'll use the car to drive around wherever they're at. I'm like, you're hardcore, dude. Like, that is crazy. Yeah. Like I was thinking just for a brief moment, like, okay, how would I do it if I was going to do it? And you know those like ones that you can tow? There's like these little, and they're pretty nice. You know, they got the bed, they got the kitchen set up, and I think sometimes they have like a pop up or they have like little expansion things that you can do.
On them. Will pop out for those
right. Yeah. So they become bigger, and then you can drive it somewhere, and then you could just take it off your car, leave it there, and then you could go into town or whatever with your car, itself. And so I thought if I was ever going to do it, that's how I would do it. Because, man, those big RVs, holy shit, man. Those things are really massive. They're like
driving those on the freeway or driving through, like, you got to stop and get gas in, like, some overpass kind of thing or get in and out of some place. They're gigantic. That's like driving a city bus. And, as fun as it would be once you have it parked, I think it would be a nightmare getting it from
just getting it around. Yeah,
point A to point B could kind of be a nightmare.
If you're on the open highway, that's fine. But
like cruising, that's fine.
A gas station or like we got to go into town. Let's get something to eat, and it's like, well, where do we park? This this parking lot, this restaurant is tiny. Like, where would we park this thing?
That's when you have your, like, what are they? The electric bicycles that people have now. They're like little mopeds, basically. And
well, I've seen the ones where they have like because they'll take them out to the desert, so they have like trail bikes that go onto the back of those things. Yeah. So there's like some kind of tailgate thing, and then there's a compartment, and you just put the two bikes in there, and then you still have your living area and stuff like that. So that could be fun. You and your wife just tooling around in these like motorcycles.
Alexander wants a full tour of your collections, Art.
Okay, Alexander. I really have a strong feeling I'm going to do something like this. So let me.
That would be fun. It would be fun.
Talking of all your collections earlier, Art, you really should do a tour of your collections of comics and memorabilia and show them off on a live stream.
And it would be fun because it'd be a little walk down memory lane of your career too. Because like you look at certain books and stuff, and it would like pop up a little memory of you working with this artist or this creator or what was going on with these books at this time period. That would be kind of fun.
It would be a blast, but you know how these things always work, right, Clint?
Yeah.
You spend the whole day, and then all your books will be all over the room because you're like, well, I'll read this later, or I'll check this one out later. So you kind of have like these priority stacks. Like, oh, these ones, whatever. Oh, these ones.
The best laid out plans turn to crap. Then we would get off topic in the first 5 minutes, and they'd be all sitting out there. We're gonna go over them, and then we'd go
be sitting in the corner reading. Yeah, there is one retirement thing that I'm really looking forward to that I want to do. Is I still have all my old vinyl from when I was a kid.
Oh,
so,
sure.
And I still have my old Techniques stereo. So I have my turntable, I have the amplifier, and I have the tape deck. But I don't have the speakers anymore, but those are pretty easy to replace. And then I was just thinking, because I got my little music room over here, just getting a comfy chair, getting the headphones on, and just listen to vinyl.
Jam out.
Yeah, reading my old comic books and listening to vinyl. That'd be cool.
Throw on some Donnie and Marie and just lay back. Puff on the pipe.
Are you a little country or are you a little rock and roll, Clint?
I'm a little Marie in her 20s.
Those Osmonds, man, there was something going on. They all looked identical.
Oh,
that's a strong family gene.
There's some strong genetics going on there. The boys did not stray far from each other.
And then there was the littlest one, and he looked like he was a bastard. Like he probably looks like the mailman or something, right? Wasn't he Jimmy or something like that?
Wasn't he a little auburn? Wasn't he a little?
Yeah, he didn't have dark hair, and he was a little chubby and stuff. Yeah, it's like
the wife got lonely at the end, and the mailman was there.
Dad was on tour looking after the kids. You know,
Marcus Kellinger. Marcus has got my back.
Wait, really? We got to do some research, okay?
We can look this. We had Jennifer Connelly up already. We can pull up some 70s Marie Osmond. I'll be right.
Marie Osmond's daughter. Is that her now? Man, she looks like she's had some major work done. A little bit rock and roll.
So, what do you think? Well, let's talk a little about Superman. Did you like Superman?
Oh, the new movie? Yeah, let me finish finding these. I'm looking for something that's
porn pictures of Marie Osmond.
I'm not going to go that. Oh, shit. Right when you said that, an image popped up. Oh, wow. I see what you're talking about. Or somebody's talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Keep going. I got the image. I can focus now.
All right. So, Superman. Did you like Superman?
Okay, we're talking about the James Gunn Superman. All right, we're gonna do a deep dive.
Because now everyone should have seen it. Everyone had a chance to see it for free if they didn't see it.
Right, no spoilers. So. All right, whoever said this was correct. Where's Clint when you need him? This is like the Clint moment right here.
He went to the bathroom.
Those are fucking nice.
5 minutes.
There he is. Yeah.
I'll be right back.
See, he's going back to the bathroom again. Wow. I look at his age and I think there's no way he can pull one out twice.
Well, it's Marie Osmond, dude.
I can't do that. I'm younger than him. I can't. I need at least a half hour in between.
So you couldn't get inspired, motivated.
So anyway, back to what I was saying about Superman.
All right, so this is the James Gunn. This is the new Superman. You just recently saw it. We're gonna get deep spoiler territory, so go for it.
Oh,
Wait.
there really wasn't anything
Marcus
I liked
says-
about it.
Wait.
I thought there was a good cat. Huh? What?
Marcus says she got a reduction. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. I like the cast. You know,
The
I
cast
thought it
was really
alright.
good. Yes.
But this is not it wasn't a good Superman movie.
You know what? I'll go you one step further, one step better. It's not even a good movie. There's the through line, the narrative, the storytelling. It's kind of incoherent at times. It jumps around. It's a little hard to follow. Some of the introductions are non-introductions to characters, things like that. They just expect you to know some stuff. But go ahead, Todd. I think Clint and I have already covered this territory, but we haven't.
Well, I thought I was gonna like Holt as Lex Luthor, and I didn't. He was like a hip Lex Luthor, and not like a mad scientist, but businessman. You know, he was like hip, and he was like an Austin Powers villain. To be honest, that's what I saw. I was like,
this was definitely a comic book movie, right? I mean, this wasn't trying to be like, oh, we're going to try to legitimize or make this stuff realistic. This felt to me like a comic book. You know what I mean?
He had mad scientist to me. His ego was creating pocket universes so that he could teleport across the earth like that, with risking the very fabric of reality just because of his own ego. That
didn't even come across. What came across was spite. He didn't come across like a guy with that much ability could have just ignored Superman and made his empire. That's what he's always been about. It's an empire. That's why he wanted that land. Instead, he had such spite and sort of this axe to grind with Superman.
Jealousy.
He undid himself.
Yeah, but that's a great villain arc, where the flaw was like he could have been a great man, right? But the flaw was that there's this guy, Superman. It's kind of like remember the first Burton film where the Joker is like, how does this winged freak get all my press?
Yeah,
like he was just pissed off that Batman was actually more popular than he was. So I thought you have this guy.
But the guy didn't have the smarts to realize where, like, everyone's telling him, hey, this is not a good idea. This is not a good idea. And he's like, no, we're going to do this. He didn't have the brains to be Lex Luthor, to realize if I keep opening this door, this Pandora's box, eventually it's going to explode within itself.
He didn't care.
I won't even have a place. I won't even be able to get what I'm trying to get.
But that's the part that makes him evil, right? Because he's willing to do this effed up stuff. Like if you had a sane person, they wouldn't be opening these pocket universes or doing any of this stuff to begin with. So I think this character definitely has a screw loose. So they're playing like, he's the screwy, mad scientist guy. And I thought that was very effective. The thing is that what Gunn did with this with Superman and Luthor is they were very one-dimensional characters. That's it. But they were very comic book characters. You know what I mean? Like Luthor's motivation was to one-up Superman. It's kind of like I said with the Joker thing. How come this guy gets all my press? I do all these impressive things, and yet, he saves a puppy and everybody loves him. That type of thing. So then he's obsessed with just getting rid of that guy. And I think that, as far as like because usually heroes and villains are good when there's something personal at stake. And so I thought that this was pretty good because Luthor was taking it very personal, that Superman just existed, and just wanted to get.
But I do blame Gunn for having to go, for instance, use the baby route. That's bullshit. If you can't make a better movie without using the baby, the baby.
You mean
thing,
to use against Metamorpho?
Right. That just, it's just, to me, that's just really negative.
I'll take. Well,
it's just a negative thing to do, and if you got to resort to that as your MacGuffin, it just means you just can't tell a good story.
I thought Nick Holt was a good Luther. Tell him 29 says he wasn't the best, but he's a world's better than Jesse Eisenberg, which tell him post later on. Jesse Eisenberg was an atrocious Luthor.
And it was a badly written Luther too.
Oh yeah, badly written from the get-go. This has a lot of the elements, whether you like him or you don't like him. It has a lot of the classic Luther elements. Big businessman, controls, manipulates, jealous of Superman, hates Superman, he could be using his intelligence to better the world, but he's bitter and he's jealous, so he uses his intelligence to attack Superman instead of trying to make the world a better place and be a hero. He goes after Superman. Those are all classic Luther.
Okay. And I heard that the Superman movies are going to be a trilogy. So what intrigues me the most about Gunn is it sounds like he's not interested in telling a real linear story like the Marvel Universe stuff is like this happens, and it all leads to this other thing. Like Gunn seems like he's just telling stories.
Yeah.
And they're going to be connected, but not necessarily like a continual story arc that builds to a massive, climax of like an Avengers, whatever. Although I'm sure there'll be components of that. But what I heard is that the next Superman, and it might begin in Supergirl, is that Lex gets caught. He goes behind bars, but they're going to bring an outside threat, which may be Brainiac. So they're going to bring a bigger threat into the picture. So like they've done in the past where Luthor and Superman have to work together.
That's what's been hinted at. And they're talking about Man of Tomorrow. They're saying that Man of Tomorrow is not the sequel to Superman, but that Superman will appear in it. So they've kind of hinted around, and that Superman and Luthor have to team up for an enemy. So they're trying to stretch this out. They're trying to build. Elements are going to be in Supergirl. Man of Tomorrow is already been established. It's not
a sequel, and he said it's kind of like Superman family stuff. So the through line is family, like Superman characters, but not necessarily a linear Superman story. And I know you said this earlier, Todd, and I do agree with you. You can argue that this was a Superman story, but you can also argue that it's not. You know what I mean? Because it didn't really feel like Superman was the hero in his own story. He got his butt kicked quite a bit throughout the movie. He wasn't quite the proactive hero that you wanted him to be, and all that kind of stuff. But if they are kind of going to do Superman family, but also like where some of the stuff will continue, like Lex Luthor in the next movie, if he gets a chance to redeem himself and look good in the front of people, then he's going to take it, right? So that's why, he'll go along with Superman. You know what I mean? But whether it's sincere or not, who knows? But the thing is, he'll do it, and these are kind of like these through lines that will continue in these movies. I think it's a pretty neat idea, but go ahead.
I don't know, but I did come away liking Mr. Terrific. I thought he was probably the best part of the movie. But the idea, there was things that were shown to people who aren't us, right? This isn't, most people aren't going to get. You stick Superman in this chair and aim him at the sun, and he's going to be better. Most people aren't going to get that, So there wasn't much explanation, and I don't think you need to explain that. But there was a lot of things thrown at you that this, like you said, this is a disjointed movie. One, you didn't even really build up the Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor was just what he was from get-go, you know?
Yeah.
And you didn't understand, why does he not like... I get that he doesn't like that he was an alien. And I get we're in year 3 of Superman being Superman, because I remember reading that. But all this, like you say, he's got this chip on his shoulder, and he wants to get rid of him and F the world no matter what happens. There was really no build up there to understand.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Why.
None of that was properly set up. And my complaint, and I think Clint and I had a little difference of opinion here, but they started and they did like this rollout, like Star Wars, right? It's like, oh, there was this battle and blah 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 happened, and Superman was a hero, right? So that supposedly was the impetus to all of this, to Luthor hating him, to all of these things happening. But the thing is, they never show it. And for me, there's still one component in that movie that doesn't exist. There isn't really a kick-ass Superman scene. Not really. There's moments, but there's not really a kick-ass scene. And I think if they would have showed Superman fighting an army, you know, like all that fantastic stuff that they said, and they started it with that. You know what I mean? And then they end as like bookends, because that's how it's structured anyway. And then the end, you know, they're back in that country, and they want Superman, you know, to save them, I guess, again, or whatever the hell it is. But even in this version, Superman doesn't go there. The Justice League do, or the Justice Gang, or whatever. Right, and they go there, and they're the ones that save those people, even though the kid was raised in the Superman flag and all that other stuff. So maybe you could have done that ending if that's truly what you wanted to do. But I think if it was properly set up, where you saw Superman fight that army, I think that would have been kick-ass, right? Picking up tanks and throwing them, bending, you know, big tank barrels, and I don't know, knocking planes out of the sky, you know, just doing a bunch of kick-ass stuff. I think then I would have got my like killer Superman scene. The fight where he fights Ultraman himself, I was a little disappointed, because I was thinking, you know, and I know he does figure it out, like this, he's fighting himself, but I think it would have been better if he figured it out sooner. You know, like, these are my moves. Like, this guy knows all my moves, and it's like, but this is too perfect. You know, it's kind of like he's anticipating this stuff and whatever. And then figured out, this guy is me, you know, before he unmasks him and all that other stuff.
I always thought, for whatever reason, I don't even know where I got this, I always thought Ultraman was Henry Cavill. I don't even know where I even got that.
But maybe like some people hinted about it, yeah.
I don't know. And
but so I like the idea
to be him. I was like, oh, that's just
that'd be weird, actually. But just think about this, okay? So they tease. There's a lot of stuff that's teased that I think is really, really cool, because they showed, and it was kind of hard to watch, where Metamorpho is torturing Superman when he's in that glass cage, right?
Right.
And then you see like the veins and that purple stuff, and the skin starts getting pale, and then you're just immediately, as a fan, you're going, "Oh my gosh, this is Bizarro." You know what I mean? Like, this is what's going to happen, because I think everybody knew Ultraman was Superman, right? I think even going into the movie, you already knew that was
right,
you know,
right.
Guy. But the thing is, and then he gets lost into that, and then there's all these square shapes and stuff, like the Bizarro world and all that that are around. And when he falls into that void or whatever that is, you get the idea, like, oh shit, next time we see Ultraman, he's going to be, you know, he's going to be Bizarro. And also they said that he has very little intelligence. So, you know, Lex was saying, and do this, do that. He was even instructing him how to fight, you know, at the end. So I thought, like, okay, that's kind of cool. But there's moments like that you go, this is going to be cool, or this is a cool setup, but not necessarily that the movie's cool. You know what I mean? Like, these things are cool. These little Easter eggs, these little setups and stuff like that. But overall, I think the movie was weak, but I enjoyed it still.
I'll tell you what, it wasn't
exactly what they wanted it wasn't to do.
It wasn't the thing that I would rewatch, right? Like, oh, I can't wait to rewatch this, or like Superman. Anytime the original Superman was on TV or HBO or whatever, and I passed by it, I just stop and watch it. It had the magic. It just kept continuing for me. I've watched Man of Steel even quite a few times. Not the same as Superman.
Man of Steel, the narrative works better. It's not a great movie, and I just
No, it's not.
I love sitting and watching
an okay
Clark Kent
story
watch
with
his dad die
with
in Man of Steel. Like that's just
superfluous,
the best part of Man of Steel for me.
yeah.
Okay story with some superfluous characters that worked okay, right? But this Superman, I could care less if it showed up on, I don't have any desire to rewatch it.
You know what they did? It's James Gunn's Superman is like he's supposed to be everyman. He got rid of the God thing and he tried to humanize him, but perhaps too much. You know what I mean? Like he tried too hard because
what's your favorite part of Man of Steel, Todd?
Well, wait. There's not just one scene where Superman saves an animal. There's two scenes. There's not just the dog; it's a squirrel too. And it's almost like the theme just kind of keeps hitting you in the head, like he's human, and that's his strength, and that's great. And then Zack Snyder's Superman, he was always a god, so he was harder to relate to because he was this god, right? And so Gunn's character is a little bit more like the everyman. He's vulnerable, he's got emotions, he's got all these things. So I think there was definitely two different directions that they took. For me personally, I like the Gunn version of Superman better than Zack Snyder's because I don't like the Jesus Christ metaphor. I don't like the Moses metaphor. It's there, fine, but I don't like it overly played. I like the human guy that was raised by his parents.
Gunn's version of Superman is the comic book version of Superman. Snyder's version of Superman is the pretentious, I'm trying to be Christopher Nolan, being, holier than thou, pretentious, artsy-fartsy Superman. Like, it wasn't Superman. Like, no part of it was Superman.
I couldn't relate to it at all. Like, I couldn't relate to his parents. I couldn't relate to their motives. I sure as hell couldn't relate to Superman or Clark Kent. Like, they were just in some other world that I didn't belong to. But even though they had like the bad casting, and maybe not casting, but the way they portrayed Ma and Pa Kent, I thought
the writing was terrible. Goyer's writing was garbage.
It was too hicky. Like they were never hicks, they just ran a farm. They were simple, but what I mean simple is like they knew what was important in life. They were simple that way. They weren't complicated with like a Zack Snyder way of looking at all these.
Look at Kevin Costner. Look at Kevin Costner's Pa Kent and lecturing Clark about what he's supposed to be, to the point of, I'm gonna die in this tornado, but the principle of what I'm thinking is more important than you rescuing me with your abilities. It's so stupid. It's not real life. It's not how anybody would think other than a script writer. Like, how can I have this be so impactful? Like, that is not, there's no point where that story would happen in any realistic way. But like, no, Kevin Costner's over there standing in the whirlwind of the tornado, and he's like, no, stop. And like, what a great Pa Kent moment. Like, Kevin Costner, what a wonderful actor. And then look at Clark Kent tearing up because he's not going to go save his dad from the tornado. When he could do it at super speed and nobody would even fucking see it. Like, that's garbage. That's just garbage.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Like, my if I was going to play that beat, this is how I'd play it. I'd set it all up the same way. There's nothing wrong with the way you set it up. Even the earlier where you're like, Dad, should I have saved those kids? And he's like, maybe not, whatever, right? Okay, so thematically, this is interesting. This is tension, right? This is drama. So then you're like, well, this is counter to Superman. You're watching this, and you're thinking, Pa Kent's wrong, right? So He's obviously wrong. Yeah, you did the right thing, Clark. You pulled that bus out of the water. You saved those kids, right? Okay. So then the tornado starts. The dad's like, no, you're going to blow, who you are. We've been trying to keep you from, from people knowing, even though everybody already knew that this kid could pull a bus, and they were all keeping it a secret. All the people in Smallville, they already knew what Clark was capable of doing, which was a better beat too, because it was in the movie, but it didn't connect because of letting Pa Kent die. So you have the same scene. Pa Kent is like, no. It's more important that you stay safe and don't let people know who you are than rescuing me. Fine. That's his principle. He believed it since Clark was a kid, all the way up to this point. And so then the tornado picks him up. Now he's in the tornado. He's getting beat the fuck up, right? And then he's just screaming in pain. And he's like, please, God, save me. Somebody save me. Like he's screaming. He's just being busted around and stuff. Shit's hitting him. And then all of a sudden, streak of like just blur grabs him, pulls him out of the eye of the storm, sets him down a mile away. And then he's like, what the hell? And then he looks up and he sees the Savior. He sees his son. And now he knows what his son needs to do. His son needs to do exactly what he just did. There are desperate people out there that need somebody, Clark, like me. They're screaming for help. You can provide that. I didn't know what I was talking about before. I was just trying to keep you safe, but I was being selfish. You need to save me. Right? Boom. Origin. Right there. Boom. Pa Kent gets it now. And if you're going to play that beat and try to humanize him like he's just trying to protect his son, that's fine. But this son is Superman. He's meant to be Superman. He's not meant to be this farmer, whatever. And then the conversation even about going to college before the hurricane, all of that stuff thematically works. But play the ending different. And then all of a sudden, guess what? Fantastic impact. Him and his dad get to have a meeting of the minds. You know what I mean? And all that stuff. But they were just like, how do we kill Pa Kent? You know what I mean? Like, that was the bottom line. It's like, we got to get rid of Pa Kent. How are we going to do that? Oh, we're going to have his son witness. And then we've talked about it here too. Like, okay, if you watch your dad die and you could have saved him, wouldn't you have a whole lifetime of guilt? Holy shit. That's worse.
I thought there was a lot of wasted moments in this Gun Superman. I didn't need the mock arguments in the mock interview. That was complete unnecessary bullshit.
Yeah,
it went on for a long time too.
The mock interview didn't. Like, I see where Gunn was trying to go with that. It was being a little cutesy writing, and he was trying to establish what type of reporter Lois Lane is, and then he was trying to push that against Clark still being a little bit naive, a little bit wet behind the ears type of,
right.
And like Lois is the more jaded, more sees the different nuances to like media and how you're perceived, and like pushing it against Clark being still a little bit naive, a little bit wet behind the ears, and like he needs to wake up. Like, that's what he was going for. I didn't enjoy that part of the thing. I saw what he was trying to do. I didn't like it.
I think it played out. It was too long, and like the cutesiness of it, if it was shortened, I think it would have worked better. But if you think about it, like from a thematic point of view, it sets up the motif of the movie, and it sets up the couple. It sets up their dynamic. Like, their dynamic is, like you said, she's the seasoned vet. She sees the world as the cynical, political, messed up place it is. But Clark doesn't see things like that. Yeah. Clark sees things as more altruism, like this is good, this is bad, that's that. This. And then if you think about their story arcs, that's how they played out. Clark's was tried and true. He was the good guy. And then Lois is the one that went behind the scenes. And I thought it was great because she's the one that really brought down Luther in a way that was going to put him behind bars, right?
Oh yeah.
So I always thought,
yeah.
Right. I always thought like one of the things about superheroes is like, how do you get these things to hold up in court? Like I always thought Batman was only as good as Gordon because Batman worked with the Gotham PD. So then he could direct Gordon to the crimes and all this other stuff. But
a lot of their conversation centered around Superman saying, I'm doing it because I can. I went and I talked to the president because I could. And I told him, you know, this. And she's like trying to say, yeah, but then they're going to blame you for being like that. You're just showing them that they're right. That you, like, because there was that, the reveal of the phony phone call or whatever, or no, his parents talking, and they somehow AI finished it or whatever. And it's like, you're there to control them. That was just such bullshit.
Well, let me finish the Lois and Clark thing. If you think about the way it ended and where I was going with like all the Gotham PD stuff is because superheroes are vigilantes. They have no legitimacy. If anything, they're breaking the law, right? But what Superman did is he broke down a lot of the stuff that Lois and the Daily Planet could never have done, right? Infiltrated, exposed, all this stuff. And then Lois was able to use the power of legality of the paper and all that other stuff to document everything. So they had the dirt that would hold up in court to crucify Luther with. Superman didn't have that. Superman couldn't even go into court and really testify against him because he's a vigilante, right? He's already kind of breaking the law. So he's not legit. So I thought that the two working together that way was probably one of the best Lois and Clark dynamics I've seen on film, to be quite honest, because I like the way that dynamic worked. And it all stemmed from that scene in the apartment where they're kind of talking, because they're basically talking about like important couple things. Like if we were to raise our kid, would they be Catholic? Would they be, raised Jewish, if like your parents, or non-denominational? Like there's all these questions like you have, like when you're trying to, get together with somebody, important conversations. And I thought that that's kind of what they were doing, and it worked. But I agree, it went on too long. But now what, Todd?
Nothing.
You were bringing up something else.
Todd, Google find me the Jim Lee Batman Wolverine cover, because I cannot find that fucking thing to save my life.
Okay, Headless Bourgeoisie says Gunn's Superman wasn't stoic enough. He didn't come across as the adult in the room. That's right, he did not. But what I'm hoping for is that we're not going to get the same Superman the next movie. Like this was kind of like a coming of age of Superman. So there was.
Well, I guarantee you, they've got this guy signed for 5 or 6 movies. So yeah. that's a decade. That's a decade bare minimum. That's a decade. You look at what they did with Chris Evans. You look at what they did with Robert Downey Jr. and Hemsworth. Now you're signing these guys for multiple movies. They're going to play this character for 10 years. You don't want to start them out in the middle. What they're allowing for, and not a lot of people point out this. Everything that was in that 3 days ago, 3 months ago, 3 years ago intro to Superman allows for everything that happened in the Snyderverse to have happened. It doesn't mean that it did happen and that it's part of the continuity, but if you're very stuck on the Snyderverse, everything that happened in the Snyderverse could have happened and still fit into this new timeline with Corn Sweat. Like if you wrap your brain around it, it can work, because everything that happened in the Snyderverse was Superman very first appearing. And everything happening with Corn Sweat is he's 3 years in now. So he could have
his
fought
parents
Doomsday.
are
He
still-
could have met Batman. He could have met Wonder Woman already. All
But
that
his
stuff.
his dad's alive in this version. Like it.
Well,
it
that's the main thing is that's the main difference is Pa Kent is still alive. You got me there. But they're
I wasn't trying to do it as a gotcha. I don't.
They're trying to give the wiggle room for the stories. But this is early Superman. This is not like your experienced, like, I mean, there isn't even a Justice League yet. You know,
that's what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking is what they're going to do is they're going to show in the next couple movies that Superman is worthy of the title Superman, but also worthy to lead the Justice League.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's going to be kind of an origin, like a Superman origin, but not in a traditional like his family and all that blowing up of Krypton and all that.
It's showing him established,
right? A coming of age, of him actually
becoming
becoming the Superman. Like he's kind of a young guy that has his abilities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But even in the argument with Lois, you see kind of like he's very naive, but not necessarily that that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
But there has to be some acknowledgement of that he lives in that world. You know what I mean? He's got this viewpoint, but he still lives in that world. And I don't want them to make him jaded or anything like that.
No.
But I do want him to be able to function a little bit more, I don't know, effectively.
Well, and because they'll establish this eventually in the movies, but look at the age difference between him and Hal.
Yes,
like
exactly.
And Guy and Hal are both 10 to 15 years older than Superman, and like established like interstellar police cops or whatever. So they're like they tweak that part of it too, which I don't hate. I don't mind that at all. Superman playing younger than the Green Lanterns isn't the worst thing that'll be about these movies. I think
because then you have an ability. Because the thing is, Superman is supposed to be the hero of the DC universe. So right now he's just amongst a bunch. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to validate him.
Yeah.
They're going to show why he's worthy of all of these things. Like he's going to build into the mantle. He's going to grow into the mantle of Superman, and you're going to get to see that. And then you're going to get to see those guys that were just like, well, he's just another hero. You're going to get to see those guys go, oh shit,
and that's fun.
Like, exactly. Like, it's a different way to play it, and it's more of a universe because like Gunn's obviously trying to create a universe, but not in a linear way. Like it already all exists.
Yeah.
So the only way that you can really make Superman seem special is to do something like that. Yeah. And I have a theory, that Justice Gang, those guys aren't going to be around very much longer. I got a feeling that those guys aren't going to make it because one, they had Hawkgirl. She killed that guy in cold blood. Like she grabbed him, she flew him up, and she just dropped him. You know, the whatever that guy was, the prime minister, whatever this place was.
Yeah.
And he was a bad guy. You know, nobody shed a tear, but you can't just go kill people.
Right.
You know, so I have a feeling that there's going to be some backlash to that, and I don't think she's going to be. I think she's going to go to trial. I think there's going to be some kind of scene where she has to pay the price for that. So not that I don't think Gunn's going to get overly political with it, but I do think that's an interesting idea that you had this hero kill, and it was on international soil as well. And then I think that Guy Gardner he's going to pay a hideous price or a horrible price too. I'm just not sure how they're going to do that. But I think what that will do is it'll kind of pass the baton. Like whatever happens there is going to pass the baton to a Justice League. You know what I mean? Like that's the Justice Gang or the Justice Society or whatever it is. And then all of this stuff will fall the wayside. And those characters, like, because they got the Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart show. So they're establishing those guys so that they could come in. And then, of course, Wonder Woman and John's Martian
Well,
Man.
and that's where the future is, like casting for Wonder Woman, casting for the DCU Batman, because like that's the big thing is I don't think they're gonna bring Matt Reeves. I'm thinking of the actor from Twilight. I can't think of his name.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
But I don't think he's going to be the main DCU Batman. I think they're going to recast him. They'll cast, obviously, a new Wonder Woman, and then they'll cast a new Flash. So you start filling out some of these character roles. Momoa is not going to be Aquaman, so there'll be a new Aquaman. So they've got Pattinson, yeah. So like they're trying to rekindle that first 10 years of Marvel, but do it with the DC characters. They're hoping to hit those numbers, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
Superman
this is the first.
A solid start, but it didn't blow the doors off anything.
No, yeah, I think it's just because I mean people speculated before it even came out that there was going to be too much stuff in there, and so yeah, this is the cover. So let me finish my thought. So let's just wrap the Superman stuff up. So Todd, overall, like, you just didn't like it at all? Do you think it's got promise to like for another movie or?
No, I didn't like the movie that enough to go, oh, I'm in.
So you don't even like want to see where, like, I don't know, some of these characters are going to go, or where the world is how they're going to build it, or anything like that? You don't want to see Supergirl and Lobo?
I don't care. I don't care at all about Nathan Fillion's Green Lantern. Hawkgirl was a little bit badass. She wasn't too bad, but she's kind of just. I didn't like how they portrayed Supergirl. She comes in as a drunk because she's on a party world with a red sun. That was hokey. I like Mr. Terrific, and I don't even like that character in the comics, but I like what I saw on screen and the dynamic of this character. I liked it. So that might be my only, like, oh, there could be something here that makes me want to. I'm gonna watch whatever, but you know what I mean. That makes me go, okay, I'm in. That would be
my thing. That you brought up Mr. Terrific. I think we talked about this before, and I think Clint was in agreement. Don't bring Batman in right away. Let's not be in a hurry for Batman. Let that Mr. Terrific character play that Batman role for a while. Right. You know what I mean? Because I think he basically is kind of Batman, without the the scary motif. So, and I think the actor and the character that they built was really interesting and cool. So I would like to see more of that guy as well.
I hate to say this, but I wonder how many people went to see this movie because of crypto. And we wouldn't agree to that. We wouldn't say, "Oh, we watched it because of crypto." But
I think it's a valid point. I think crypto was a selling point, and that was on purpose.
Yeah.
People love dogs. People love dogs.
Yeah, and they're playing up all that, like you think the Mandalorian, with Grogu.
Oh, Grogu! Grogu is a great example.
And what was the other one? They just like Marvel with the
Lilo and Stitch, or was it Lilo and Stitch?
Where they have the little alien dog.
Yeah.
I mean,
people love those characters. Yeah,
and the thing is, I kind of disagree with the Supergirl, because I think with the character being a little edgier and then bringing Lobo in, and keep in mind she's older than Supergirl. I mean, even though because of the way that
she landed first.
Yeah, she was already like older when Krypton blew up.
Argo City or whatever. Yeah,
she knows all that stuff firsthand.
Yeah.
Where Clark never got to see the world blow up and all those people die. She did. Yeah. So one of the things is like she goes and she does these bingers, because if she goes to these red suns, she can get drunk, and for a while she can kind of forget or medicate herself so she doesn't feel the pain. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, or it's a hero beat, but it's an interesting character beat. And the thing is, when the dog kind of beats her up and the dog misbehaves, you kind of understand why crypto's the way crypto is,
Yeah.
you know, through the movie. And it's
there's
just
thought put into it.
yeah, it's a real interesting beat. Like the dog is kind of unruly, but she likes it. She likes kind of the edgier stuff. And so the theme, like that Supergirl movie, is not going to be a sequel to this movie. Tonality, it's going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's interesting. You know, that you're going to get to see a Supergirl that's a little bit more complex than just, you know, like Superman with boobs. You know what I mean? Like you're going to get to see a more detailed character that has angst and that doesn't have like Superman has that kind of like he could be naive. He could be that altruistic guy because he's not jaded. He hasn't seen this stuff, but she has. So I think it's an interesting dynamic between the two characters. And to be honest, I'm kind of looking forward to the Supergirl movie more than even the Superman movie, because I think it's gonna. I think the narration, the narrative, it's gonna work. It's gonna be real strong. It's gonna be an emotional movie. They're gonna beat the shit out of you, I think, emotionally. So she's gonna be a little beat up. So what does Randy say? Randy says, didn't Tom King come up with the story beat for Supergirl? I think he did. And it's not a bad idea. It's not the Supergirl we grew up on, and so Todd likes that Supergirl, right? Right. Look at Todd's getting pissed. Look at Todd. It's just like he doesn't like anything I'm saying right now.
Well, because I think they're going to do a completely off-world Supergirl movie. So
I'm looking forward to that. I think that'd be great.
Right. I think it's just not going to, doesn't really. If
you don't want to see other galaxies, other worlds that she's hanging out in.
Oh, absolutely. If it's going to be a good movie, it's going to be a good movie on its own. Is what I'm saying.
I think it will. And also, like, I don't know if James Gunn's directed this. I think he wrote it. But the thing is, like, if you think about Guardians, especially the art direction, that first Guardians of the Galaxy, fuck, if you ever looked for like a natural replacement for Star Wars, like just as far as art direction, tone, adventure, everything, that first Guardians was
the closest
successor. It was easily the successor to Star Wars. If he could have kept that up with 2 and 3, that same level, because I think those two movies definitely had their flaws. But that first Guardians, my gosh, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. The art direction, everything is so fantastic. So let's go to this Batman.
Yeah, you did find it. Okay.
Yeah.
Where was it, man? I Googled it, searched this every which way.
Because you're probably looking for Batman Wolverine, but it's a cover for Batman Deadpool.
A Deadpool. Okay, that's right.
But here's an area I have some.
This isn't as quite as bad as I thought. It's a little stiff, but not terribly stiff.
Well, I think the Wolverine figure is all wrong. Like he kind of like I like the stockier, like the way he drew like Wolverine looked kind of like a Byrne character, big, thick, stocky. But then instead he's got Batman that's thick and stocky. Yeah. So maybe he just tried to.
It's like I think the trap Jim falls into is he's drawn all the great poses. Jim is great at a lot of things, but I think one of the things he was best at was drawing really dynamic poses and very fluid looking dynamic poses. And I think he's drawn them all. And so it almost feels like he's just redrawing stuff that he's drawn before a lot of times. And it just doesn't feel as dynamic, doesn't feel as fluid. And I mean,
there's some issues here, but
yeah, that left arm where the bicep is going into the middle, that doesn't. There's some anatomy things.
It's clunky and it's awkward, and it almost looks like I was gonna say Ryan Benjamin, but Ryan Benjamin's pretty good. But it looks like somebody else that kind of draws like, Jim Lee, because that Wolverine doesn't even look like a Jim Lee Wolverine to me.
His chin and his face look too skinny. Like underneath his mask, his face looks way skinny.
Yeah.
Can I point out some things that maybe will help you guys go, oh, I see why because it's what makes it come off, right? So you can see the top of Wolverine's legs because he's lower. But why am I seeing the top of Batman's legs so much and he's higher?
Because Wolverine's legs are behind him and Batman's legs coming forward.
But it's creating perspective issue because their eyes aren't like what's in the same place. If these two guys are if they're on the same line, something should be equal.
Like Wolverine's calves, his ankles, and his feet are incredibly tiny compared to Batman standing next to him in kind of the same pose on his right leg. Like look at Wolverine's right thigh and his underleg.
But if you draw two characters, one in front of the other, and they have a horizon line, then some feature of theirs will match up.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it be their knees or elbows.
But they're not. They're on debris, so they're not on an even ground. And also, I think what could have solved all this is Wolverine's too small.
Oh, Wolverine's
he needs to be bigger.
Like small. He's so too small in front of Batman.
If he was bigger, it would push him forward and it would get rid of some of those issues. Yeah, but I understand what he's trying to do. He's trying to do the buddy shot and not one over the other kind of thing.
Jim's trying to blur it by giving Wolverine really big muscular arms, but then from underneath his pectorals to his abdomen to his crotch to his legs to his feet, it's like he's a midget compared to Batman next to him.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's the main problem with this one.
I would have
foreshorten
him forward. Yeah, I would have moved him forward more, made him bigger.
Yeah.
Not much bigger because you want to keep them kind of even on the
Wolverine's a short character, but he's not that short.
Right. Because he looks kind of like a child, but
he's got little baby legs.
He's baby Wolverine. But if this was anybody else, you'd go, "Wow, this is a fantastic cover." But
Jim set himself up for a higher standard, so we're gonna compare him to the standard that he set for himself.
Right. These things always bug me. Go to it's Batman's right arm, our left, and blow up, get bigger, and right where his knuckles are. Keep going. All right. No, it's the other hand.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. I'm gonna blame Scott Williams for this. There's a tangent right there. And all Scott had to do is move that line one side or the other. Have it go past the knuckle or move it back to where it interrupts the knuckle. It goes into the fist more. And so what he did to try to I'll make it work is he broke the line. But when you look at it pulled back, it still looks like a solid line. So it's a tangent. It's an easy fix tangent, but this is professionals should know better.
And there, look at the dog's face in the debris. You don't do that. That's also a tangent because it draws my eye. Oh, I see a dog.
That's not a tangent.
Oh, I do see the dog by your hand. Yeah, that's a dog because the eye is up there and the black is the mouth. And then there's even a black for the nose right there.
Yeah, I'm not even going to get into Batman's rib cage and the anatomy of that.
Yeah, the rib cage. Yeah, it's these little terrible muscles over here.
Wolverine's rib cage is way better.
Yeah, I think for a Batman Wolverine, expectations are a little higher. But like I said, Alex Sinclair, Scott Williams inks. This is still, in the upper 2 or 3% of the industry.
Oh, and we're getting nitpicky. Like, we're getting nitpicky, but this is what happens. This is why John Byrne had to listen to years of your older stuff was better. Everybody's older stuff was better because they were working harder, they were younger, they had more energy, they were trying to make money. Guess what? Everybody's older stuff was better when you're an experienced pro and you're in your 40s and your 50s and 60s. Your older stuff was better when you're in your 20s and 30s because you're younger, you had more energy, you were trying to make money, you were trying to make a good living for yourself. Your older stuff is always better. It doesn't matter what artist you are, it doesn't matter how talented you were. Your older stuff will.
I completely disagree. I am the exception to the rule. So
except for art. You didn't let me finish. You interrupted me and you didn't let me finish, Art.
Sorry.
Your older stuff is always better, except for Art, who just keeps getting better every day.
Thank you, Clint Helinski. There's a couple.
Hang on.
Yeah, thank you. There's a couple I didn't have time for. Tell 'em 29. The first Wonder Woman was my favorite. I'll tell you that first Wonder Woman is the best DC film that they've ever done.
Yeah,
other than the Donner films and the first Tim Burton Batman. Yeah, it's really, really good. The third act lets it down a little bit.
Yeah,
but man, that first two acts are freaking brilliant.
The enemy, the bad guy, was a little bit of a letdown, but yeah, like no, that's a great Wonder Woman movie, and they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, Headless Bourgeoisie. If they tone Lobo down from the Giffen Grant Bisley version, he won't work. I completely agree, but also I think that's why they chose to make Supergirl a little edgier.
Yeah,
because you'll be able.
They can get away with some more stuff.
Man, we really pissed off.
Todd got mad.
He always does.
Took his ball and went home.
He sure did. On that note, you guys, we got a couple campaigns. We got Clint's The Bad Guys. The link is in the description. And Black and White Volume 3, Sins of the Father, is in demand. And we just added some T-shirts to that. So we got the black and white T-shirt. And if you buy them as the bundle, you save a couple bucks. Oh, Todd's back. All right, Todd, what do you got to leave as a parting shot?
Well, I'll tell you what's been going on here.
How long is this going to take?
Not long, because it's just I haven't done anything because I went back to traditional work.
You mean digging ditches?
Yeah, digging
okay,
ditches.
Cool. You got to do what you got to do, man.
Yeah, and so yeah, I've been not managing my time well because I'm spending a lot of time in pain from digging ditches.
All your card work is traditional stuff, though. Or am I miss? I might be missing.
What I'm
something.
saying is, I haven't I should come home and then do that, and then I'm spending time in pain.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
From having to work.
Okay.
Like you're doing your kitchen. I see you're hunched over and bow-legged and in pain from working in the kitchen.
What's wrong with you, Todd? What is wrong with you? Bow-legged and in pain?
You were walking hunched over.
That's my normal go-to. All right. See, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. Okay, solo layout. Let's see this.
This is the proof.
Let's see
nice. If there's good lighting on it or not.
Just turn it a little bit. Yeah, there you go.
There's the proof.
Is there gold?
I got the UPS says the main package of books is coming from the printers tomorrow or Friday. So that means I'll probably for the next 2 weeks just be shipping out books. But yeah, Blue Bombshell's done, getting it back from the printers. Start shipping out books to everybody. So physical copy in hand. I love the way it printed. Looks great. I got great paper, 80 proof from the printer, a shiny gloss. I'm super, super, super happy with the way the printing turned out. So I'm really excited to get these books out to everybody. So
Yeah, you guys, Clint always delivers a fantastic product, and he's got the bad guy up right now. I do believe the link is in the description.
Yep.
I saw Randy. There it is, right there.
Thank you, Randy.
Click that sucker, go over there and back a book. And JG Martinez wants to clarify, did Todd just say he's been banging bitches? Is that I like that
that's not a no. That's not a no.
That wasn't a denial. Yeah, I like that he comes out with this and then says, "Good evening."
You got to keep it classy.
Yeah, you do.
You got to keep it classy.
Hey, that's a lovely lady. All right, you guys.
I'm usually asleep by now.
What?
I'm usually asleep by now for work.
Yeah.
For the ditches or the bitches? You got to get up early for the ditches or the bitches. You know that's going to haunt you, Todd. That's going to forever be like the Todd go-to. I encourage all of you guys to say that and direct it at Todd on X. I can't stop laughing. I can't either. All right, you guys. Well, hey, thank you so much for hanging out with us. This is always a blast hanging out with these guys and with you guys in the chat. A bunch of cool comics. Go check them out. Todd's got his site. He's got his cards that he puts together, all hand drawn, all hand colored. He sells them for way too cheap. So you guys
JG's got one.
Buy all of it. JG, you should go in there and just buy all of them.
He hasn't bought one in a while. He's not even in my group. I have a group of people who get discounts.
I'm trying to figure out how to do groups on Facebook.
No, not on Facebook. They're getting rid of that. They're getting rid of them.
Oh God!
But you can do.
All right, we'll talk off the air. All right, you guys. We'll see you next week on another fantastic pontificator. So take care, you guys.